Welcome. So what I like to do is show you how to solve by completing the square, this quadratic. So when solving by completing the square, the main thing we're going to want to do is let's go ahead and set our y equal to 0 here. So I have negative 4x squared minus 8x minus 3. Okay, so now by completing the square and solving, one thing that we want to do is we can isolate our variables. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add the 3 to the other side. Therefore, I have 3 equals negative 4x squared minus 8x. Now, when completing the square, the main important thing is we're trying to create a perfect square trinomial. And even though this is possible with dealing with the negative 4, I like to get rid of factor out the negative 4. I always like to complete the square when the coefficient of my x is equal to 1. So what I'm going to do that is I'm going to factor out a negative 4 out of these two terms. Therefore, I'll have a negative 4x squared plus 2x. Put some parentheses in there. Okay, so now what you can see is I have this, now I've factored out the negative 4, and I'm going to leave this right here until I actually go ahead and complete the square. So now I need to go and complete the square, and remember to complete the square, we take our b divided by 2, and we square it. Well, in our standard form, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Our b, in this case, in this factor form, is going to be 2. So therefore, I take 2 divided by 2 and square it. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So now I have 3 equals negative 4 times x squared plus 2x plus 1. Now remember, whenever we're introducing something in our equation, if we're going to do something on one side, we've got to make sure we do it on the other side. So I'm going to want to add a 1 over here, but it's very important for us to understand that when we add that 1, this 1 is being multiplied by a negative 4. Therefore, to keep the equation equal, I also need to multiply this 1 by negative 4. And that's a positive 3, so I'll put a plus there. So now we have a perfect square trinomial. X squared plus 2x plus 1 can be factored down to the binomial squared x plus 1. This 1 times negative 4 is negative 4 plus 3 is going to be a negative 1 equals negative 4 times x plus 1 squared. OK, so now what I need to do is I just need to solve for my x. So to do that, I need to use my inverse operations for my square root method. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to undo my multiplication. So I divide by that, and now I have a positive 1/4 equals x plus 1 squared. Now, to undo the squaring function, I'll take the square root of both sides. Make sure when we introduce the square root, we have to make sure we include the positive and the negative. So therefore, I have plus or minus. So now I'm left with x equals plus or minus the square root of 1 over, now let's do the whole thing. Square root of 1/4. Oh, I'm sorry, that's x plus 1, isn't it? X plus 1 equals plus or minus the square root of 1 over 4. Now, to kind of help you simplify this, by using our properties of radicals, I can break this up into the square root of 1 over the square root of 4. Now, the square root of 1 just equals 1, and the square root of 4 equals 2. So therefore, I'm actually going to rewrite this. Let's do it over here. So therefore, I can say this is x plus 1 equals plus or minus 1/2. Now, I subtract 1, and therefore I have x equals 1/2 minus 1 is going to be negative 1/2, and x equals a negative 3/2. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you solve your quadratic by completing the square. Thanks.